Everybody, just get on the train. Let's go. It quenched my thirst and probably many other people's thirst for Star Wars after being so dry, for over a decade. You're bringing back Han. You got this shiny bastard here. You got this hotshot pilot. The Falcon, the First Order, Finn, Chewie. It had so much potential. Nominated for 5 Oscars. So Disney, props. You started with a bang. Unfortunately, you got the one guy you can't finish shit in J.J. Abrams to get this rolling. Best achievement in film editing, music, John Williams crushing, sound mixing, sound editing, and visual effects.
You think I had a choice?
So pretty standard. I mean, I think anybody who made Star Wars, as long as they did a good job, I think you're kind of locked in to those awards. So Lucas won with A New Hope. That's the bar. Winning Oscars. The one thing that pissed me off about this movie is how do you not have Luke, Leia, and Han in the fucking Millennium Falcon flying around with Chewie, 3PO? How are you given $200 million and you don't write that? That was the biggest mistake in this new trilogy. And then Rian Johnson had no idea what the hell he was doing. He could not pick up the pieces. And then they decided to release Rogue One in between. So Rogue One comes out December 2015, December 2016. Rogue One is easily the best Star Wars that they put out. The ending just makes you, dude, Vader, give me that 30-second all day long. But that story, you didn't need, the Force, lightsabers, with the exception of Darth Vader at the end. Good story, good characters. That was a good continuation from A Force Awakens. So you're like, holy shit, the first 2 things that Disney did is they created The Force Awakens, which started off with a bang, kind of left you on an interesting cliffhanger. What's Luke Skywalker going to do? Big mystery box that J.J. Abrams is famous for. And then they just, next December, boom, right into Rogue One. And you're like, holy shit, okay, I'm on board with Star Wars, Disney. And then they give you The Last Jedi. And I remember I went to Star Wars Celebration for The Last Jedi. And I remember when they dropped the trailer. That trailer is something else. That was a good trailer. You got Phasma, Luke. You think Luke is going to turn dark.
It's time for the Jedi to end.
Your Rey's going to turn dark. You get the red theme. There's so much potential. And then you see this movie. And like an hour in, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm in a casino watching Finn and some other chick who shouldn't be in the movie riding alien horses escaping from the casino security. I mean, come on, bro. You're an ex-stormtrooper and you're running from 2 guards. You throw Benicio del Toro in there, one of the coolest actors there is, and you give him, a stutter.
Gentlemen of the...
And you make him a con man. What are you doing? And then you just put everybody in a ship that's going 2 miles an hour and they're chasing after him. This is an unrewatchable movie for me. Unrewatchable. But somehow was nominated for 4 Oscars. I can tell you it wasn't best script or best director or best writing. Visual, okay, obviously visual. These are locked in. John Williams won, an Oscar locked. Sound editing, sound mixing. Okay, I agree with all those. But this is the part where Disney just shit the bed. When you just give some director who had done just one Godzilla movie and maybe a couple other movies up to this point, which I actually liked. I think it was Brick and something else. But you give them this $200 million, one of the most important movies of the franchise. But you kill Luke Skywalker at the end. Han Solo is already dead. Now Luke's dead. These assholes are not getting back together. That is part of the reason why we wanted to see these movies to begin with. To see that old crew. But then you get kind of a mopey Kylo and Rey is force training and Finn he has just been relegated to 5th line backup. I don't know what they were doing, to be honest with you. This is where everything started to go south. Still nominated for Oscars, but again, it's those Oscars that they're locked into. And then, so that was 2015, 2017. Then they throw this doozy at us. So we're getting a movie a year. We're getting a movie a year. Every December, it's kind of like a tasty treat. But now it becomes, after this movie, it becomes like a mystery box. Like, what the hell are you going to get? Are we going to get a good movie or are we going to get a bad movie? We don't know. And unfortunately, we got a bad movie at the time. Let me preface this. Solo, A Star Wars Story. When I was watching this movie, I was like, what am I watching? Han Solo just died. He literally just died a year ago in The Force Awakens, and you're already making a new movie? What are you doing? So Last Jedi started, but then they started pumping this stuff out like way too fast. Way too fast. Take a year off. This movie was very awkward when I was watching it. I couldn't, honestly. I just felt it was just very cringy. When I finally got the Blu-ray, watched it 1 or 2 times, and it's an okay movie. If you just kind of pretend that he's not Han Solo, and maybe that's not Chewbacca, maybe it's Chewbacca's distant cousin, it's actually not a bad movie. Like, Woody Harrelson is in it. He does a good job. Donald Glover's okay as Lando. Paul Bettany as Driving Voss. Emilia Clarke. So the cast is there. You got to pretend that this guy's just not Han Solo to get past that. And this movie nominated for 1 Oscar. And how much money did this movie make? So it probably cost around, let's just say 330, box office of 393. Yeah, it wasn't worth the time. So after The Last Jedi and this movie, they just kept going. They were like full speed ahead. Kathleen Kennedy, everybody, just get on the train. Let's go. And then they put out Mac Daddy of them all with probably the coolest trailer, The Rise of Skywalker. This trailer just blew my mind. It had so much potential. Look at this cover, dude. Look at this cover. You have Darth Vader. You have like potentially the Emperor coming back. All this, Finn, all this stuff. Look at the helmet. It's so cool. And what did they do? Somehow, Palpatine has returned. That's the line they gave us. They just shoehorned this guy in. Unfortunately, Carrie Fisher passed. So now you have Han dead. He comes back as a ghost. Luke dead. And Leia. They're all 3 dead. We never got to see him once on screen. Made a budget of $400 million. It's expected. I mean, make a Star Wars movie. My God, was this just a disappointment. I've rewatched this maybe twice. I find this new trilogy after The Force Awakens is just unrewatchable. You start with A New Hope, Empire. We're up here. Return of the Jedi. Disney gets a hold on it. They give us 5 movies, and the best one is Rogue One. This is the best one. That's fucked up. I don't know what they were doing. How are you running a giant corporation like this? And this is what you shit out. After the dud that was The Rise of Skywalker, they didn't learn the lesson. They have not learned their lesson.